Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Hi, Angela.
Hey,
How are you?
I am very good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm excited that we're doing this again. It's been a little while, and I've missed you, and I've missed everybody else that joins in comments. So we're here. We're back. Yay!
Yay!
Hi guys, I'm Annabelle.
Hi, I'm Angela.
And
We together.
yes, we're together. Can you believe it? I'm so excited.
And tomorrow I'm going on the STARCRUISER, and I am excited now and tomorrow, and then we will be talking about that.
Yes,
in an
I'm
upcoming
going to
video.
hear all about it. You guys stay tuned for that.
You probably just saw a video of us meeting for the first time. So let's talk a little bit about that first. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. That was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. We had the opportunity to get together for dinner, spend some time with family, with just get to know each other a little bit better, and we had such a blast. I mean, this lady, if you guys think that this lady is nice, you have no idea when you meet her in person. She
Oh,
is amazing, and it's not just her; it's her whole family. Like I felt so welcomed. I felt like I mean, I know I've known you for a while, but like when you meet someone in person, it's always awkward.
yes.
And it was so like there was like no awkwardness at all with you, with Tracy, with no one, man. Everybody I met was so amazing. So it was awesome. You can probably tell. You guys can probably tell by just how excited we were on the video.
Oh, it was so good. I remember like we showed up and you weren't there, and I was like, where are they? And then I spotted you over across the car park, and it was like, oh, I was
Yeah.
really excited to meet you, really excited.
Yep. Same thing for me. I got there, and then I got a message that you were running late. So I went back to the car to wait for you. And then I was going back to the car. I'm like, oh, there she is. And I went running. I was like, okay, back to the restaurant. So that was really cool. But now that we've met, it's even cooler because I feel like I'm talking to somebody that's like a real person.
Yeah, oh, it was lovely. Honestly, well, you are a good friend to me, as you know. We've had discussions offline. You've helped me
Right.
with these little streams and things, and you give me good advice. And it was lovely to meet you. I will always remember it. It was. Hopefully, we'll see each other again. That wasn't the only time.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
So guys, today we're not going to talk about board games, although if you kind of wanna, you can relate it to board games because we're going to talk about the STARCRUISER, which is the Star Wars hotel in Orlando, Florida, which is a hotel that Angela and her family visited. So we're going to I want to know what happened, how was it, what's the experience like, as much as I can get out of Angela today. And then we're also both of us are very excited about a new TV show in HBO called The Last of Us. If you've never heard of it, why? And if you haven't watched it, why? Go watch it. It's awesome. But we'll talk about it a little bit later. First things first. The first thing I want to do before we start talking about anything is our game from last time,
Yes.
because I know you guys have waited so long to get the answer. On my channel, I know Kabuki Kid guessed it right.
Oh.
The token that we showed you guys last time was from Zombicide. So good job. Perfect. And we'll have a game later on today. But before we do the game, we're going to talk about STARCRUISER. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it spoiler free.
Yeah.
And once we're ready for spoilers, we'll let you know so that if you don't want it to be spoiled, now Angela doesn't even remember. It was like a month ago, so she can't spoil it anyways.
I will really try not to. I'm not going to talk about any storylines or anything like that.
Right, great.
Just more about the overall experience of
Perfect.
it. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So the first thing I want to know is how was check-in when you first got there, all dressed up? You're going to show pictures? Because the pictures are awesome.
Sure, I'll put pictures up. Why not? Why not embarrass myself and my family?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Yeah, so my whole family showed up and we were all dressed up. And it's just this cement area where you're checked in, and they had hot chocolates because it was absolutely freezing. And there's like a little door you can go and take your photos in front of, like an airlock.
Okay.
And other people showed up and they weren't dressed up. So you know, you've got that mix of some families are mad like mine, and we all dressed up, and some families just showed up in their tracksuits and sneakers.
I think what you're trying to say, some families are cool and want to enjoy the experience the right way, and then some families, I mean, I don't want to judge. Some people might not have the money. I know those
Yeah.
costumes are.
You need to unlock your iPad first.
Oh, they're yelling at me. I don't know
I think it
what
was
happened.
Siri, was it, or something?
And I'm here alone, so it's like, what happened? Anyways, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so I saw the pictures. You guys looked the part. You were like true Jedis over there. So was the check-in like easy and organized? I'm sure it was because it's Disney.
Yeah, everything is so organized. So that we got these what are they called? Magic bands, the little watch things that you get. Everyone has one of those, and you have to wear it the entire cruise. I don't know whether it's so they know where you are, or well, I'll get to that later. The magic of
They're
being
listening to you.
but yeah, so you just check in, and then you are shown, and they check you in lots. So they check you in groups, but we were there early because we were so excited. And you are taken into an airlock because you're going onto the spaceship. And I'm assuming it was a bus, right? I'm assuming it was a bus, but Annabelle, honestly, it was magic. There's a picture of me looking out the window, and I just looked like a child. Because you could see the trees outside the window, and then it lifted off, and that was us going to the STARCRUISER, and you could see, like, you know, outside was space. I'm assuming it was, but it looked like a spaceship, and you couldn't see outside, so it was all enclosed. And then you arrive on the STARCRUISER in the airlock.
Wait a second, but you said you could see outside, and you saw trees, and then you saw space.
So I don't know whether the trees were part of the film, or whether the trees were the trees, and then it changed into the film.
But it was that real that you couldn't tell if the trees were real trees or
I couldn't tell. It
Wow.
was. I mean, none of us could tell. So much so that my grandson was like, "Are we really in space? We're not really in space, are we?" Because he was a little bit scared.
So it feels like you're lifting up because, you know, when you're in space.
It does. Yeah, and obviously the sound effects and things, so it sounds like you're in a spaceship.
Right.
Magical. There's no words for. It's something you need to do to, like, my words are not going to get across the magic that it felt like.
Yeah, of course. You have to live the experience for sure.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's why we're talking about it, so other people will get encouraged, like me, because I live so close and I haven't been there yet. So, and I'm a Star Wars fan. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, and I feel like even talking about it isn't really spoiling it, because I was on numerous groups before we went to try and, like, you know, what are you supposed to wear? Are you supposed to come up with a backstory and all that kind of thing? And actually doing it was just, it's different to talking about it.
Did you guys come up with a backup story?
We did. We came up with like fake names and a fake planet.
Okay, what was your name? What's your planet?
My name was Cooper, because that's one of my role-playing characters' names.
Okay.
But I think if anyone watching this is going to go, don't come up with a fake name. It just confuses things.
Okay.
It's like they know where you are and who you are. So just use your normal name.
Okay. And what planet was Cooper from?
We were from Swaziland, which was Scotland, Australia, a mix of both.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very cool. So Annabelle from Kashyyyk will soon arrive to the STARCRUISER.
Well, a lot of the other guests were from Star Wars planets as well.
Of course. I don't know if Kashyyyk, like, I don't look like a Wookiee, or maybe now I do. With I need to cut my hair, but wow. So okay. So the other thing I want to know, important for me, right? I don't know. How was the food?
The food was amazing. Like, it's literally on my list of things to mention. You know, it was regular food, obviously, because we're human. So it was human food, but they'd made it in a way that made it a little bit sort of different. Like things like
Intergalactic.
waffles were a funny shape and are just really clever,
Okay.
really cleverly done. And you could just help yourself. So it was like a buffet. There was only one night, I think, where there was like an interplanetary special thing that I won't spoil,
Okay.
where the food was brought to you. But for the most part, you would just go up, and that was pretty much all day you could get food if you wanted it.
But you were free to roam around? I thought you were like doing stuff on schedule.
You do stuff on schedule, but you can do it to your own time as well. So like dinner, obviously we were doing dinners at dinner time, but if the kids were hungry before dinner time, there was always food available.
Okay. So it is like a cruise, like a human boat cruise.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I guess it
Okay.
is like that. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you can go do your own thing. Another question I had, I know you have a list. I don't know if you want to go through the list first. Maybe you'll
Oh no,
answer some of
ask
them.
your questions. They're probably on the list anyway.
One of the things that I was like, I don't know about that is going to Hollywood Studios, the Hollywood Studios, the park,
Yeah.
and going to the Star Wars area. You had to stay in the Star Wars area, correct?
You don't have to. You can do the whole thing. We did because we wanted the kids to feel like they were on another planet.
Yeah, and I would too. But is that like, because I've been to, obviously I've been to Hollywood Studios, Florida, and I've been to the Star Wars area. I was there before it even opened. Is it a different experience than when you go on your own, like a regular tourist?
So it's different in the sense that when you go to Batu for that day, and again you get the shuttle there, so you don't know that you're not, you don't see Earth, you don't see anything that isn't part of the STARCRUISER thing. But you do get a special badge if you're on the
Okay.
STARCRUISER, and you wear it when you're in Batu, and you'll get like special treatment on a few things, like getting onto Rise of the Resistance like straight away. I think we might have got a free drink or something in the cantina. There's also missions that I'm not going to spoil, but there's things that you do on Batu.
Okay.
And if you've got that badge on, all of the staff will know that you're on the STARCRUISER.
Do they talk like very Star Wars like very like
On the
soldier kind of-
STARCRUISER,
Yeah.
they never break character. Everyone on there. Even if you try and break character, like if you talk about a regular world thing, they will twist it so that it is Star Wars.
Perfect.
It is just, it's magical.
That's
Absolutely
great.
magical. Yeah, there's no words for it.
Tell me about the kids. How much did they enjoy it? Is it worth bringing your kids?
Do you know what? This vacation is going to be probably the most magical vacation I've ever been on. And it's because of the kids and the way the staff on board the STARCRUISER interacted with them.
Okay.
It was just like, I was in tears numerous times, put it that way, just because of the way things played out. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
Right.
the staff were just astounding, and the kids were always safe. I mean, the whole place is enclosed. So you can literally let your kids run riot if you wanted to. And they're always safe because the staff is always watching out for them as well.
So here's a question that I don't know if it contains spoilers. If it does, just tell me you can't answer that. When you're on the cruiser, is everybody doing the same mission, or does everybody get individual missions that you can't share? Is it like secretive? Is it like you can share it with the group? How does that work?
So you all do you do different missions. You can choose to be on the light side. You can choose to be on the dark side. I won't say what's going on, but there are your choices. And then within that, there are different missions that you can do. Like we would go back on it again because we didn't do half of what was there. There's so many different things happening.
You didn't do half of what was there because like you did all of, let's say, dark side, but you didn't do the light side, or within the side that you chose, let's say the light side, you didn't do all of the light side missions?
Not even close.
Wow.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, I'm trying to say it without spoilers, sometimes you think you're going to do something else. And then, like at one point we were due to go and do, I don't know, a lightsaber thing, whatever it was. And then my granddaughter heard a rumor that someone was on board the STARCRUISER. And she was like, we need to go and find this person.
Someone.
We need to find them. So we went and found them, and we got pulled into that storyline, even
I
though
see.
we weren't booked for that storyline.
Okay.
And honestly, I will remember that for the rest of my days.
Oh, okay.
It was magical. I'll tell you in the spoiler bit a little bit more about it.
Okay.
Oh,
Another question. I saw a video of the accommodations, and they looked tiny, kind of like a cruise. Are they comfortable enough? There's enough space? How was that?
we loved it. It's bigger
Yeah.
bigger than any cruise that I've been on, but
Okay.
it's basically a bed, a table, and bunk beds. You can get like a suite, I think, which might be a little bit bigger, if you're
Mhm.
going as a group. But yeah, you're never in there, Annabelle. You're literally in there to sleep and shower. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's comfortable enough that you can, even a big person like me can take a shower. Like I'm tall, you know. Okay.
Everything's themed. So again, you feel like you're on a spaceship.
Okay.
And there's a droid. There's a screen in your room, and there's a droid in there, and even that has stories. And I don't know what AI they were using for that droid, but the voice thing on it was amazing. Like, it understood everything. And we had Scottish and Australian in there, and that thing was responding like almost like someone was controlling it. It was mad. Really, really.
You mean
good.
like
And kids love that.
like you can talk to the droid and he'll respond back?
Yeah,
Oh, I wonder how
Yeah.
they do that.
crazy.
Like you
Really
can,
good.
like it's like an Alexa or a Siri kind of a deal.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but you can see the droid, and the droid actually becomes a character. Like, you get to know
Okay.
that droid. Really cool.
Okay. Wow, it's pretty
Yeah,
amazing. I see. That's why Siri got jealous earlier and she started screaming.
that's what she butted in.
Like, I want to. I want to be part of this too. Yeah. I mean, what else can you tell me without spoiling? What else is on your list that maybe I missed?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Well, when I was there, I made my own lightsaber, and I know you've done that as well, haven't you? That was
Correct.
magical. I loved
You-
that. That was when we went
You
to
made it at the
Batu.
STARCRUISER, or you made it at Batu?
We went to Batu, and my grandson and I made one. Oh,
Yeah, I told you that experience was worth the price. I know it's expensive; it's really expensive, but it is you're not paying for the lightsaber, which you get to take home, of course, but you're
Yeah.
paying for the experience of being in there. It's really intimate. There's not a lot of people,
No.
and just picking the parts that you want for your lightsaber, putting it together yourself. Are you gonna show it to us? Oh, nice.
Ooh. Yeah, that was magical as well.
Yeah. How was Rise of the Resistance? I mean, I've been on the ride, but tell us a little bit about
If
that.
you've been on it, you know how mad that thing is, right?
Crazy.
I wanted to go on it again
Mhm.
when we went back there. We went back there a few days later, I think, and I couldn't get back on it. But the reason I wanted to go back on it was I felt so overwhelmed the first
Mhm.
time we went on it that I
Mhm.
felt like I didn't take in what was happening. It was just so, the scale of it is
Yeah.
insane, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
and they're
yeah,
just rushing you around, like move, get in there, and it's so over. You can't really. It's like I want to see everything, but these people are the stormtroopers. Were they stormtroopers? And they were Imperials. They're rushing you, and you're like, oh, come on.
yeah.
But it's amazing, and so many surprises, so many things. I'm guessing that's not even as big as the experience you get at the StarCruiser. I'm guessing the StarCruiser is that, but multiplied by like at least a tenfold.
I don't know, that Rise of the Resistance blew my mind, but the
is.
StarCruiser obviously is a lot bigger. But the StarCruiser is more about interacting with the characters that are on there
Mhm.
and using your data pad. So your data pad is your phone, and you get an app that actually starts working before you're even in the country. Ours was working. You can translate Arabesh and do various things on it. But once you hit the StarCruiser, things come up from the crew dependent on what you've done. So if you interact with a certain character, you will get a message on your data pad a little bit later saying, I don't know, thanks for the chat. I've got this thing that I need help with. Are you willing to help? And you can say yes or no, and that will dictate sort of what storylines you're going to do. Super clever.
Let me ask you this, because this is not a spoiler. Which side did you pick?
Oh, the light side, of course.
The light side? Everybody
Yeah.
picked the light side on your family?
Everybody did, other than my grandson Jackson, who he started off because he loves Darth Vader. I think I've told you this. He's loved him since he couldn't even walk, pretty much.
Yeah, right.
So he started off with that, and then, but he said to us, "I'm a spy. I'm not really dark side. I'm just sort of spying on them." So he had a lot of interactions with the stormtroopers, and he bought a stormtrooper mask while he was there and pretended to be a stormtrooper, and yeah, magic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Should we do spoilers then?
Yeah, we can do spoilers. I'll still be careful. I'll do light spoilers. I don't want to spoil any of the story or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got?
Okay, so that thing that I mentioned earlier with my granddaughter realizing our character was on board.
Yes.
Right. So she was dressed as this character.
Okay.
The character was Rey. And we weren't set to do anything to do with Rey on our data pads. That wasn't part of our thing. But she was adamant, we need to find Rey. We need to find Rey. So we went and found Rey, and the girl that was Rey was that character. And as soon as she saw Arya dressed as herself, she knelt down to her and she said, "I have a secret mission. Arya, this is very important. Would you like to help me?" And it was like Arya was looking at God, honestly. It was it made me cry. It was the most beautiful thing. And then she ushered us into her part of the story, which we weren't due to go into. And I'm not going to say what happened, but my mind was absolutely blown. It was like magic. It was like seeing actual magic.
Wow.
I'll never forget. Never.
I know that I've seen characters from the movies in the STARCRUISER. I'm not going to mention which ones because I don't want to.
That's the only one I'll mention. Yeah.
But I have seen even live action battles right in front of everybody. Like people
you've seen quite a lot of them. Yeah.
I've seen a little bit. I don't think it's going to compare to when you're there, but I do know that there's people fighting right in front of you and things happening and interruptions and you think you're going one way, but all of a sudden things change and somebody comes and attacks the cruiser. I mean, I don't really know. It's just bits and bits that I've watched, but it does. One of the things I love the most about going to back to. I saw Rey. Rey was I guess she was doing a show and she got off and she was walking just because at the beginning when this park really started, I saw more characters. I saw Chewie, I saw Rey, I saw yeah. Now not so many.
No.
When I've been back. And I remember walking by and I had a list of I don't remember anymore, but I had a list of things that you say on back to, like how to say good morning, how to say, I think it's Rising Sun or something like that.
Yeah.
And she walked by and I said it and she responded back with the second part of it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And just trying to talk to, when you walk into the cantina and trying to talk to people, you can't talk to, you talk to them normal, but like you said, they flip it around and I had Salacious Gray, I think is his name. I had bought the little Jabba the Hutt little guy that sits on him. I had him there and I was at the cantina and the waitress goes, "He can't be in here." Stuff like that. I love stuff like that, so I'm sure that for what you're saying at the STARCRUISER, it's a lot of that. Like a lot of people
100%. They stay in character. I think you could beg them to come out of character and it wouldn't. They are in character, and the magic of it as well, it's not a spoiler, we actually thought they might have had earpieces in because the characters would see you and they would remember who you were.
Okay.
Now, apparently, Colin, when we got home, he read that they memorize the people that are on board. Like when they're not on duty, they go to their stateroom and they memorize every guest, their names, and it was weird. Like, we thought that they had earpieces in because they knew us, and they even would every time one of the characters saw us, he said, "Oh, 4 generations, 4 generations."
Right.
Our family were 4 generations on there. Just yeah, magic.
How many people? About how many people were there with you?
I think it holds 100. Is it 100 or 120? I know the bad news is, and this is what I wanted to let you know specifically, because I know you're desperate to go on there. There's a rumor that maybe it might be coming to an end.
Oh no!
Because the last few cruises have been really low capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hurry up, guys, if you want to catch it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd hate for it to close because honestly, it's just so magical, and I would like to go back myself.
It's so expensive. They need to lower the prices. What they need to do? They want more people there. Lower the price, guys.
Do you know what though? We had months of discussion about how much it was before we went. And as you know, I'm the big Star Wars fan. Me and Colin, the rest of my family, they're not really into Star Wars. And my wife was like, "That is so much money. It is ridiculous, but we'll do it for you." And afterwards, the entire family said that was worth every penny that we spent.
Okay.
You'll never get those kind of memories again. You can't pay for magic. Yeah.
Wow.
So I know it's expensive, but it's just, yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay. Well, there you guys have it. Everything about the STARCRUISER. Thank you, Angela, for sharing.
Well, I could go on and on. Honestly, it was just amazing.
Oh, well, you want to learn more about it, go to the STARCRUISER. I know. Now I want to go because now I'm thinking, what if it closes and I miss out on the opportunity? It's like I don't know if you work on VR, so you don't care. But I went to the Star Wars VR experience in Orlando that already closed down. Yeah. I went a few times. And boy, am I glad that I did not miss that, because I have never. I've been on other VR experiences where you sit in a little car, you put the goggles on, and boom, boom, boom. But this was me actually moving with a gun, with something that I can feel, and I knew it was like a plastic gun. I mean, whatever it was made of. And I'm shooting things. I'm actually hitting the trigger. I'm touching things. Like I could feel levers, buttons I could press. But I was a stormtrooper, and my friend who was with me was a stormtrooper. It was amazing. So when you find an experience like that, you don't wanna miss it. So
I know there was an experience when I lived in London in the Trocadero, and it was for Aliens, from the movie Aliens. I can't remember what it was called. And I went into the Trocadero, and I was like, "Oh, I should really do that." And then we got pulled away into doing something else, and it closed down, and I'm still devastated today that I never got to do that.
Yeah, because you love Aliens. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the show. Let's talk a little bit about The Last of Us, and then we'll play a game. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, so you play the games, the video games.
The Last of Us? Yeah, played the games. Loved the game.
Yep. What's not to love, right? To me, it's just amazing when a game can draw you so much into a story, connect you so well to the characters that you actually care whether they live or die. Or because a lot of times when you're playing video games, boom, 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 you're just shooting, and if you get hurt, then you respawn and you go again. But you are invested in those characters, and I think the show is doing an even better job of connecting you to those characters and caring for them. And Joel is amazing. I mean, he's the Mandalorian, so
yeah. I know everyone was moaning about his casting before, weren't they? But
no,
he's doing such a great job.
Yeah, and Ellie, woof. I mean, I knew she was going to be great because she's from Game of Thrones, and she did amazing in Game of Thrones. What a girl. But she's killing it as Ellie, and I love that they're making her more aggressive. Like, she enjoys killing these zombies, Like, you can see that kind of, it's not joy, but she doesn't mind.
Yeah, well, she's grown up with it, hasn't she? She doesn't know any different. It's
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of her, I'll admit. The first episode, She
Really?
just doesn't look like Ellie to me. Ellie's a little cutie pie. I don't
Right.
know. There's something about her that's just doesn't feel like Ellie, but she is growing on me. Like you said, she is a brilliant little actress.
She is a
So,
great actress. Yeah, maybe physically she doesn't look like Ellie, which Pascal Pedro looks like Joel. He does look like him, and I think that difference, like that like, oh, this guy looks like that, but she doesn't look as much. But if you can get through that,
yeah.
she's really killing it as Ellie. You know. And you can already see, even though they still kind of not like each other, they're still very. But you can see how it's this tug of war between I like you, but I don't want to admit it, kind of a deal.
And Anna Torv as well, who I'm a huge fan of Anna Torv. I don't know if you know that or not, but if she's in something, generally I'll watch it just because she's in it. Oh, she's so good in that as well. Just
yeah, no, great cast. The two guys that we were introduced to last time, what an amazing that last episode was, wow, emotional. What a great, I guess, how they showed a real relationship. You know, they showed us the whole relationship from beginning to end, the ups and downs, and that ending. Wow, like how can you not be moved?
Goodness. I think that's one of the best TV episodes of any show that I've ever watched.
I told one of my friends, I said, I felt more connected with those two characters in just 1 hour than I ever felt for most of the characters in The Walking Dead. And I like The Walking Dead, don't take me wrong. Yeah. It was incredible how in only one episode you can make me feel that way. How can you make me feel so connected to these two characters? And I loved, like, when at the end, when I don't want to spoil, but when he said to him, I've had really bad days with you. I love that. It's not like, oh, I love you so much, you're perfect. No, you're not perfect. We've had fights. We've had bad times. That is love, guys. Like, love is not always happy. Sometimes you fight. Sometimes you don't see eye to eye with your partner. So to me, that was real. It made it real, you know?
Oh, it was beautiful. Honestly, I was sobbing. Like I was, and I don't think any other TV, I mean, I have cried. I've cried at silly things. Like I cried at Grey's Anatomy. One episode of that show undid me, but I've never felt anything like, I watched it last night and I'm still thinking about it today. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah. And you know, for you guys that have not played the games, you don't need to play the games to enjoy the show. Oh, no. Actually, I think if you have not played the games, it's actually better because you'll get that feeling that we got when we were playing the game at the end, and you're like, oh, what? Like all the decisions that were made, you're gonna get that feeling. And right now, we've already been spoiled. We know what happens at the end. You won't be spoiled, so that's great. So if you haven't played the games, or if you have, the show is amazing. I know that it's been renewed for a second season. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see how this season ends, and we need to see bloaters. We need to see more zombies. We need to see. There's a lot more to come. I'm excited. We need to see Joel's brother.
Good. And if you love the video games as well, you're just gonna love how well they've recreated the game.
I remember the first episode. There were times where for a second, I lost track that I was watching a show. I thought, oh my God, the game. The same shots, exactly same shots. Some of the dialogue was exactly from the game, but especially the shots to me were amazing when they were escaping the town at the beginning, and they're in the truck, and I'm like, that's exactly like that. Is that the game? Did they put the game in there?
Yeah. It really looks like that, doesn't it? It's just, I mean, the game itself, the TV show aside, the games, they pull you in as well. They're very emotional for a video game. But the TV show is just doing it all the justice. It's amazing.
I love how they're staying away from having a lot of like Joel, or at least for now, killing other people. We haven't seen that because in the game, all you're doing is killing people that are armed and dangerous, and you have no regards for their lives because they're, you know, they're just, it's a video game, so they're fake. But here it'd be killing real people that, you know, had lives and wives and whatever. So they're staying away from that, which I love. I don't know if it's going to continue because eventually, yes, we know there's raiders, we know there's people out there. It's the apocalypse. People are desperate. People have no resources. So, but I am enjoying how it's more about. It's really about love, family, connections. So far, it's they're doing a great job with that.
Yeah, it's definitely it's so emotional, isn't it? It's a wonderful show. I hope it can carry on being as good as it is, and that we don't get that dip, you know, like season 2's a bomb.
Right.
The games, is so much more to come from those games that I can't wait to see in the TV show.
Me too. And let us know what you guys think. Are you watching it, and what do you think of it? And are you excited about the STARCRUISER? Have your plans changed? Are you going to get your ticket right now, like me, after I'm done here?
Start saving, guys.
Start saving. Yeah. All right, so before we go, let's do a game. Today we are going to do, what was it called? Where in the world is this place? Something like that. So I'm going to tell you the name of a place, and you have to figure out what game it's from. And because we're talking about The Last of Us, I figured let's make it a board game that's actually made out of a video game. So the name of the place is Winterhold. So if you know where Winterhold is, what game is that from? It is a game that I've actually been enjoying, a board game that I've been enjoying a lot. It's actually over there waiting for me so I can go take a couple turns. Let us know in the comments below if you know the answer to what game is Winterhold from.
I already know Kabuki Kid's going to nail it probably again. She's just very smart when it comes to games.
Most probably. But you know, maybe some other viewers want to try it out and see if they can guess. Yeah, and we'll let you guys know what the answer is when we next meet again.
I hope that was a good one for people, and it was interesting, and it wasn't just me waffling on about my vacation.
You know, I think one thing that, and I've read this in the comments, as long as we are enjoying ourselves, they enjoy it. And I know I enjoyed it, so.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. May you play more games.
Bye.